The analogy I use is, racing, car racing, right? You want to get into the pit, have the tires changed, and other things done as quickly as possible so you can get back on the track.
That's right.
And so let's break this down to RKON, right?
Yep.
You provide tier 1 help desk services to all of our brands, all of our acquired companies. If we can shave off X number of hours or days or whatever that might be on how long a ticket lives, right? It's that time to remediate, right? Time to respond and time to remediate. If we can start to shave off that time, that gets the driver back on the track quicker, right?
Yes.
And that's money. I mean, that's the more people we have in the field, the more people we have dispatching, the more people we have answering phones.
Yep.
To the degree, we've rolled out an online scheduling tool, which has really been very impactful in our ability to provide our customers a new channel to schedule appointments without even actually talking to someone.
Yeah.
And so that is meaningful.
Yeah.
When you start to add those minutes and hours up, it translates into value, right? And I remember years ago when I was at CNA here in Chicago, I ran the Six Sigma organization.
No kidding?
Yes.
No, I didn't know that.
And right? Walter Mitty. So I ran the Six Sigma organization, and we used to do these, launch these exercises called snapshot sampling, where we would interview workers in the office about what they were doing. They had a list of 200 activities they could choose from, and we would plot the amount of time that was spent over the course of a week or 2 weeks, and we bell curve it, right? And we could see how much time was spent on low-value activities versus high-value activities. And so we always sought to implement process change, sometimes through automation, to move the needle on that and give them more time back to do high-value activities and less low-value activities like faxing medical reports or police reports or whatever that might be.
When you go through, that's a great story. And when you go through that process, what we ended up doing together was creating a scalable platform.
Absolutely.
One that there were, everybody would have to give up a little control in trade for allowing them to move upstream.
Yep.
And if you bought right, there was plenty of room. You bought the right talent to move upstream to capture that value, while they had to trade giving up maybe a little control, which is really a story around creating a platform, a scalable platform in the M&A business,
it is,
right?
Yeah. The cultural synergy or the cultural assimilation of the acquired company into the larger organization is extremely important. They have to buy into this idea of this scalable infrastructure.
Yes.
And if you think about, all of the areas, we've got 7 competencies, right? Infrastructure being one of them. Infrastructure, M&A, business applications, information management, process, architecture, and did I miss one? I missed one. Cybersecurity.
Yes, I was just...
Yeah, don't forget about that. And so we've got all of these competency groups, and RKON plays a large role in our infrastructure competency area and our risk or cybersecurity area. But if you can, we've managed to kind of build patterns of onboarding our integrated companies into our computing platforms and an infrastructure as a service.
You've got this down to a very repeatable, predictable methodology. It's that, new company buy playbook. It's amazing to watch, and we're to a certain extent part of it. But it's still cool to watch.
Yeah, I mean, the biggest challenge, we talked about challenges when we talked before we sat down today. One of the biggest challenges is the paradigm shift of the acquired leadership, right?
That's right.
But if you do your due diligence on the cultural assessment and cultural synergy and what the assimilation looks like, you can plant seeds along the way, even as early as due diligence on what is to come.
That's right.
Again, we always lead with do no harm, think globally, act locally, right? We want to think globally, but we don't want to disrupt the autonomy that the brand has, their secret sauce, which has made them successful up until the point of acquisition.
Yeah.
We want to really create an exponential run for them by taking some of the pressure of cybersecurity, infrastructure management, tier 1 help desk management, all of that away from them, give it to us, and work with us on implementing it.
How difficult, it's not just a shift from these companies, it's a shift in IT thinking. There's a real balance between, do no harm and allowing the newly acquired firm to set the timeline, right? Yep. It's one of the keys to your success was your ability to consolidate. I think it was 7 or 8 purchases out of the gate. Yep. Consolidate those in just a couple of years and get them up and running, reduce their operational costs, kind of prepare this thing for the next level. That really required everybody to play ball, and I see from our standpoint roll-ups that struggle, and they always struggle because they've delayed integration for a variety of reasons. Often it's political appeasement of the portfolio companies. Oh, it's not the right time. We've got to. How in the world? What are the keys to that that you could tell like those that haven't gone down this road, especially from an IT standpoint?
I mean, I think a lot of it had to do with Ken Haynes' leadership. I mean, Ken is a veteran in the home services industry. He's seen what works and he's seen what doesn't work. And together, he and I and our COO, Paul Smith, and Megan McNally, who came from AGCO, into our corporate marketing leadership role, we've worked very closely together at building this methodology, right? This pattern of successive integration